What up, what up, what up? It's your boy JB coming right back at you, man. Welcome back to the channel. Had to jump on here real fast. Why the All the Smoke podcast may have hurt Kamala Harris. Now, one of the things, guys, that you guys are realizing is we're in the heat of political season. In less than 5 weeks, we gonna know who the next president of the United States are gonna be and is gonna be. And Kamala Harris went on All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Shout out to Steven Jackson and guys, I can tell you, Matt Barnes, those guys do a hell of a job, right? Hell of a podcast. You know, I'm just a small guy out here on YouTube giving my opinion, but those guys have really become more influential as podcasters than they ever were as basketball players. Good basketball players, good role players. Both of them won championships, but they have really blossomed into good podcasters. Y'all don't gotta like them, but the podcast is legit, right? You may not agree with their stance, but the podcast is legit. Now, we all know why Kamala Harris went on the actual podcast, because not only are the polls saying she's having a problem with black men, right? She's losing a lot of the black vote. So you have to go on a black centric podcast to get some people to, look at you again, get your vote again. But why has it been hurt? Why did it hurt Kamala Harris? Because, guys, that's just not her audience. That's not her comfort zone. And one of the things you're going to find is Matt Barnes came out and said that he did all the questions, he submitted all the questions to her team beforehand. And the problem is Kamala Harris, I don't think she knocked it out of the park, because you want to go on All the Smoke and have policy conversations. Nobody's questioning the social aspect. We know you went to Howard. We know you're a stepmom. We know you love the kid, Doug's kids like your own. We know, it's cool to hear the story that you went to the club with your girlfriend from kindergarten. Y'all still girls, and y'all went in her dad's Seville and all this kind of stuff. But one of the things that's happening is the reason you're losing the black vote is because people want to hear more of that policy discussion, okay? So I think Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, they thought that they were going to have a more substantive interview. You can tell, anybody who does YouTube videos and all this kind of stuff, you can tell the amount of editing and things like they did. I would love to see the original, because Kamala Harris did herself a disservice by going on that podcast. Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, they really don't sugarcoat a whole lot. They really get to say whatever they want to say. And Kamala has to be able to know what environment she's going in, because I think this hurt her trying to get more votes by going on this podcast. Because why you want to see that authentic nature of a person. Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, every time they talk and the people they bring on, they just tell him real stories that happened to them. Now, I think they need to have her back for a part 2 so that they can have a policy discussion with her, right? And yeah, granted, I know we're talking about the $25,000 home credit and all that kind of stuff, but you still have to talk about how it is actually going to be implemented. And if you're going to go up there and try to get black men to vote for you, you got to talk about those things that black men feel are important. And one of those things is got to be business discussions. And I get that you're talking about the startup small businesses, but what about those black men that already have businesses? And I think that Steven Jackson, you could tell by a lot of his mannerisms that he realized that this podcast was not connecting at the level that he wanted it to connect with. Steven Jackson didn't want to have some surface level social thing, because the black voter is more than that, right? And I'm glad you got the social component down and you can relate to black people like that. But now we got to dig down a little bit. Let's be honest, guys. Y'all know Matt Barnes is trying to run for mayor of Sacramento. He wants to eventually be the governor of California and that kind of thing. So he was trying to get with her, because everybody tries to evolve and transition, and they have a platform where they're reaching a lot of people. And you think about it, guys, they took it serious. They wanted to have a business discussion with Kamala. But if you got to clear all of your questions with her before you sit down with her, that's not going to give you the impact that you want. And I think you saw that with Steven Jackson's demeanor. And I think this is why it hurt Kamala, because these guys wanted to have a substantive discussion, not just discuss these surface level things that you think gonna get black people to perk their ears up and that kind of thing. So Y'all get down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think if y'all saw the All the Smoke podcast. I think they got to have her come back. I think they got to drill down on those specifics, because if you want to get black men, I'm not talking about the other ones, but if you look at why black men saying they're voting for Trump versus voting for Kamala, it has everything to do. It has everything to do with business. Has everything to do with business. And I think she missed the mark. We know what that podcast is about, which means it's no different if you go to Charlamagne the God Breakfast Club. We know what they're about, right? That's going to be more of an entertainment thing. Even Charlamagne is trying to get more into politics with his show, because now it's time to put some legs behind these things that are being talked about, and people want to know how they specifically how they specifically impact the black voter. And I just don't think that Kamala got him there, right? Y'all get down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Do you think Kamala nailed it? I mean, is Jeff crazy or is Jeff on to something, man? Do me a favor. Get down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I appreciate all your guys' comments. I read them all, man. If you hadn't already, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications. And until next time, I'm going to holler.